Hello everybody, this is Darth Bryboy, and I'm in much higher spirits politically speaking than I was in my last politically related video, which was back in June. Technically speaking, I do have other political videos that I wouldn't mind posting or trying to post, but the issue there is I don't know if they're really relevant. So a lot has fucking happened since that disastrous debate performance from Joe Biden. I'm gonna do a quick rundown of it, and trigger warning because some of this shit we will be discussing involves political violence, unfortunately. So, Donald Trump had a failed assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania. And an innocent firefighter was killed. And there's now a daughter who will no longer be able to see her father ever again. I'm holding back tears because that is the saddest shit I've heard. An innocent person was slaughtered, and the motives of the guy who did it were that he just wanted to make a name for himself and do something fucking crazy, but I'm not going to really dive into that. Then Biden drops out and Kamala takes the reins, and not only does she take the reins, the entire Democratic Party unites behind her. She gets an amazing vice presidential candidate in Tim Walz, who is the fucking GOAT. I've heard people describe him as almost a fusion of Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden. And some of my favorite political commentators have even expressed that Tim Walz is a better pick than Bernie Sanders would have been for Kamala to go with. I actually went to the announcement rally. Now I say went because I didn't get to go to the fucking venue. I was basically in line for 3 fucking hours, and I took a ton of pictures. I don't know what I'm going to do with those pictures. I'll probably post them, because I think they hold some historical significance. And the vibe of that event was the best of the Obama-Biden campaign in '08. I hadn't felt that type of energy since then. And just having that strong, good energy was something that I think everybody needed after the craziness that had happened involving Trump's failed political assassination. However, I'm not going to talk about that. I do have a video about that, but that'll probably be for a separate time. Anyway, on to the main event. Talking about how Kamala Harris destroyed Donald Trump on a level that I wanted Biden to do. She obliterated every fucking point he made. Not only did Trump fall for every little line of bait Kamala threw at him, hook, line, and sinker, she hit him on the rallies. Instead of talking about immigration, Donald Trump talks about his crowd sizes and the rallies, and rants and raves and bitches and moans like the man-child he is intellectually. Kamala ripped into Trump's insanity when it came to immigration. She ripped into him when it came to Project 2025, destroyed him when it came to the failed coup on January 6th, and I didn't catch all of it, but let me just give you the vibe that was in this very basement when I was watching some of that fucking debate. I wanted to try to watch it with a friend of mine, but unfortunately he was too tired, so I had to take him home, and I watched it by myself, and I was worried about watching it while I was driving back to my place that I was going to hear Trump have some good talking points against Kamala that Tulsi Gabbard may have been able to provide. Because infamously, Tulsi Gabbard did destroy Kamala Harris in 2019, and she attacked her from the left. And I've already posted about how much of a scumbag turncoat Tulsi Gabbard is, but the less I talk about that traitor, the better. Anyway, when I was watching Donald Trump seethe and having to almost hold his tongue, and you could just feel this, I want to say shit that is not appropriate for national TV. He was so low energy. He looked like a fucking bitch. He ranted and raved about Haitian immigrants eating people's pets, which is a debunked white supremacist shit story that he didn't even get right. Kyle Kalinske actually brought up how within that conspiracy theory, Trump got shit wrong. So not only is Donald Trump in this crazy right-wing echo chamber, but he also can't get his shit straight. Just to give you more examples of how much Donald Trump is probably screwed. And I say probably because I am still going to be in the headspace that I'm not underestimating Trump. I'm not taking anything for fucking granted. I'm not taking any of the good polls that Kamala had for granted, because that's what fucking happened in 2016, and that's how Donald Trump got elected the first fucking time, and I'm not underestimating that neo-fascist fuck ever again until he is done with running for the incredibly powerful office that motherfucker should have never been able to attain. And he only got it because of the fucking Electoral College. He didn't win the popular vote. That is always an important distinction and detail to keep in mind. Donald Trump did not win via the will of the people, because the people voted for Hillary in 2016. It was the Electoral College that fucked everything up and gave Trump the presidency. And it's my state, PA, where it will be the most crucial fucking turning point of this race. So I want to also go into the fact that you won't be seeing many political videos from me probably after this one, because I will be doing campaigning for Kamala as much as I can. But I really want to talk more about this fucking debate. Just what Trump was ranting about, they're eating the dogs and the cats. I saw it on the TV. I saw it on the TV. It's gotta be real if I saw it on the TV, right? And Kamala's going, okay, Grandpa, yelling at clowns, let's wrap this insanity up. And she had the perfect response. Talk about extreme. And Kamala came off as much more personable. She came off as someone who is ready to be the next president of the United States. She came off as a competent fucking leader, a competent politician, somebody who is ready to make sure the U.S. is not a fucking embarrassment. Because the U.S., I'm going to say this, for basically my entire life, I'm not counting 1996 when I was a fucking baby where Bill Clinton was president, where we had somewhat of a well-respected world image, from what I've read. I had George W. Bush for 8 years. We were a laughingstock then. I had Barack Obama for 8 years. He restored the shit reputation the U.S. had while Bush was president. Then we had Trump for 4 years, and we all fucking know how that turned out. I think Biden overall has restored our international respectability. I think there are some foreign policy failures that Biden has done. I think not renegotiating the Iran deal is one of them. I think continuing to fund Netanyahu's, I'm just going to say it, borderline genocide in Gaza is a massive political failure. But I think making sure Ukraine has the ability to defend itself from Putin's insanity is good. There's probably more I could go into, but I can't really think of it, and I'm not going to pretend like I can think of anything at the moment. I'm sure while editing this video, I will have thought of something that I wish I had said at the time. But going back to the debate, the split screen between Kamala and Donald Trump is what killed him. Because Kamala looked like she was ready to destroy him. She just kept baiting this motherfucker, going at his ego, going at his most petty little triggers to get him off base, and it fucking worked. And I know I'm gonna get some goddamn right-wing clowns in the comments, so please, defend Dear Leader. Try to convince me that Dear Leader is not even more of a laughingstock and a loser than he has been for the past 9 fucking years. Please try to defend Dear Leader for me so I can laugh and then delete your comments, because I don't need it flooding my inbox with bullshit. Long story short, Donald Trump in 2016 was a different beast, debate-wise. Nobody had seen in a presidential debate format somebody that insane like Trump. And to give credit where credit is due to that fascist fuck, there were moments where even I, one of his biggest haters, there's no way I can describe it, I hate Donald Trump with every fiber of my being. I've hated that man since 2011, as long as I've been aware of him in the zeitgeist politically. Donald Trump has always been a right-wing demagogue, and that is my most charitable description I can give that motherfucker. My worst description is I think he's a neo-fascist con man who's thankfully too incompetent to do a proper coup against the United States. Though Project 2025 is his blueprint for that shit. But When we compare Kamala's performance to Biden's, we can't even call that a performance. That was a fucking embarrassment. Donald Trump is now the laughingstock. Donald Trump looks like the senile ultra-cocker that can't form a fucking sentence. Donald Trump looks like exactly what he is. A con man, a failed reality TV show star, a failure of a president, and a crotchety old man that doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. You better believe that I will be campaigning for Kamala Harris and ensuring that Donald Trump never gets his hands on the presidency ever again. My main hope is that Kamala wins. I'm skeptical about some of these polls where they're saying, oh, Trump is doing so horribly, Kamala's going to win in a landslide. Because that was some of the mindset in 2016. And that fucking mindset, that arrogance, that overconfidence is what gave Trump the presidency to begin with. The only good thing that came out of that presidency was that it gave us a textbook example in the modern era of what happens when you let someone so unqualified to be president get his hands on it. With that in mind, Kamala 2024, Harris Walz 2024, get your ass to the fucking polls on November. I better look this up. When is election day 2024? Okay, I was right. Tuesday, November 5th. Get your ass to the polls on November 5th, 2024. Cast your vote for Kamala Harris, and let's give both middle fingers to Donald Trump. He was a disgrace of a president. He is a disgrace of a human being. He is a threat to democracy and a threat to the world. And the only way to stop him is to get your ass out and vote. And if you live in a swing state like I do, you have a moral obligation to vote against Donald Trump and get everybody you know who is within your political sphere to vote against Trump. With that in mind, live long and prosper, and have a great evening, or day, or whenever the fuck you're watching this thing.